Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. 38 days of war today in Ukraine, and there seems to have some changes. On political front, let us start with the Foreign Minister of Russia, Lavrov, visited India, and they had talks with Indian Foreign Minister as well as the Prime Minister. Russia is offering India crude oil at a heavy discount, more than $35 per barrel. Underhand must be even more. Russia has said that even other commodities which India wants to sell them, for which it is not finding market in the world, Russia is ready to buy them. That is one part. Second part, the reaction by USA on this friendly relation between India and Russia. Russia will not come to help India in case of need. That is the USA's statement. USA has forgotten its own role in 1971 operation by India against the then East and West Pakistan, and on other occasions. As far as USA is concerned, its imperialist policy is as good as before against India. It has not been pro-India, except that it wants India to be its orbit against China, wherein the relation between India and China, as far as trade is concerned, is very, very close. Well, on other China-European talks, European Union talks, China refused to toe the line of European Union as far as sanction against Russia is concerned. She said very clearly that China will find its own way. The peace in Ukraine, to end the war in between Russia and Ukraine. Well, that is as far as the political front is concerned. I will like to add, different from this arena, that emergency has been proclaimed in Sri Lanka, a small island south of India, where the economic meltdown is clearly visible. We will not go into that. On military front, USA has said that another 300 million worth military equipment will be given to Ukraine, which includes rockets, missiles against aircraft, tanks, and also anti-chemical weapons. For what use, we don't know. As far as US imperialism is concerned, it is capable of selling anti-icing or ice breaking equipments even among the hot desert countries in name of financial aids. Well, that is other part. You may take it as sarcasm if you don't like it. Ukraine has claimed that the Russian military is withdrawing, though very slowly but visible. It is very clear from Q surroundings like Bucha in north southwest of Kiev. But it wants its own military. That be careful. This withdrawal is not that the Russia is going to have peace, is going to stop the war, but it is preparing another attack, deeper attack in eastern Ukraine, especially Donbass. So that is probably the second phase of war, special military operations by Russia. That's what Russia is thinking of. That is yet to be seen, that where the war is leading Russia, Ukraine, vis-a-vis Russia, NATO and USA. Now, as little bit on economic front before I come to military, something more on that. the gas exchange between European Union and other countries which have been taking from Russia, where the ruble hurdle was there, and yesterday was the last day. Russia has extended this last date another week. That means those countries who want to buy oil and natural gases from Russia must open their banks in Russia in ruble. And another week is granted, that is to be seen, and many countries have fallen to this, especially part of Eastern Europe like Moldova and other countries, which I have been talking about. And of course, many countries like India, China, they have refused to be part of it because the prices of oil and natural gases are rising so steeply that another wave of protests is expected if it is already not there in various countries. Now, coming back to military, we had yesterday a huge fire in Bulgorod, that is on the eastern part of Russia, 5 to 10 miles from Ukrainian border, wherein it was suspected that two Ukrainian Mi-24s, the gunships, went inside and fired on the oil reservoir. And of course, early morning, and of course, the huge fire took place. This was not expected. This is almost in the sync with what they did, the Ukrainians did, with a fleet of 5 helicopters to evacuate their military generals or military top stars from Mariupol, wherein 2 were shot and rest probably they succeeded. Russia has said it will have bad repercussions on the ongoing peace treaty. Why should Russia jump on this? I don't know. The full-fledged war is going on, and Russians too have been destroying all the oil stores of Ukraine, arms of nations wherever they were finding, using even hypersonic missiles. Well, but Ukraine has said they didn't do it. Then who did it? We don't know. Anyway, earlier it was expected that even missiles were used and hit. That is possible. And that is possible by those rogue Ukrainian military. Or even they can use helicopter by the Nazis, the Azov battalion, to escalate the war and destroy the peace talks. That is possible. But now they are withdrawing, it is clear, from the eastern Ukraine. Why should they be anti-peace? I don't know. I mean, that is to be seen as the war grows. Now to sum up, friends, few of the points I have. Like DPR saying that it may have consensus among its people where to join Russia or not. Russia has said this is not the appropriate moment, but later on it can. So it could be with the LPR, and some of the leaders of Donbass has said, but that may not come into. Second point is that NATO's, whether it is required or not, that is different, but it is likely to grow, wherein like Finland, Switzerland are joining. But few of the countries have said no, like Moldova and others, because now they know that joining NATO is not helping them. The awakening call for the Russian aerospace forces, Russian Air Force, wherein the Ukrainian helicopters, low level or whatever may be, they come at deep fortified airspace inside even Russia or Russian controlled Ukrainian airspace and can bombard. Like they used missile to destroy one of the Russian ship, a huge ship, or at least damaged it in Black Sea. So the Ukrainian, or behind them the NATO forces, are using and testing their arms and ammunitions, the latest ones. And of course, there will be loopholes. We do not say that Russian Air Force or army or military or whatever naval forces can have the foolproof this thing. The lateral damage within itself can happen. But that is the awakening call. Economically, the imperialist world, I'm not saying imperialist power or size, imperialist world is once again fully exposed because of economic measures, countermeasures between the two warring groups. One side, of course, is Russia and so-called few neutral countries which are not able to follow the sanction against Russia, and second side is full European Union, USA, NATO, and their allied. But the people are being fleeced, not only petroleum products but otherwise also, and not only economically. Look at their political rights, democratic rights is being totally subverted. Look at the media's role today, anywhere in the world. It is all finished. There is no shade of so-called neutrality as far as the media or other sources of information are concerned. It's all absolute bullshit. And of course, now the peace talk is going on. Look at political economy behind it. The political economy behind the war that led to this place, the Donbass, until now, 2014 onwards till now, and even before that. You have to look into the totality. And finally, the denazification which Russia claimed was one of its aim in a special military operation. Of course, it had that it wanted to safeguard DPR and LPR. It recognized them, forcing Ukraine to accept Crimea, whatever the people of Crimea wanted to be part of Russia, and to go neutral. But we know, like Minsk I, Minsk II treaty, and now let us say this also comes, and even in constitution of Ukraine it is amended that it will not join NATO, it will not join European Union. So what? Constitution can be changed. Look at the constitutions of world over, especially the so-called developing capitalist countries in Asia, in Africa, in South America. Constitution is all to safeguard the interest of private property, not of ours. So therefore, denazification by the Russian military, by the external forces, or denazification, anti-fascism, or rather abolishing capitalism through revolution, volatile revolution, it has to be from within, not from without. And that we know, if Russia had this aim, it's only a temporary game by a capitalist Russia and its military. It cannot be done. Thank you, friends.